Yo, what's up everybody? I'm Nick McEwen.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
Gustavo, amigos. My name is Griffin E. Brandon.
Hello, my name is Carson Zadroga.
I'm Michael.
I'm Noah. Hi.
Hello, my name is Nathan.
Hey, what's up? I'm Meg.
Hi, my name's Justin.
Obviously, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, it's wonderful. I've read the manga, I know where it's going, and it's being animated beautifully. Other than that, I watched the Kuroko's Basketball movie recently. I finished that series last year after doing my segment on sports anime, and I finally sat down and watched the movie, and it was really good, so yeah.
Some of the things I watched recently include Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Zom 100 is also a new show that I really like, but unfortunately that's being delayed indefinitely, so hopefully that comes back soon. I just recently finished the Heaven's Arena arc of Hunter x Hunter. It's a great series, I'm loving it. I'm hoping to watch the other seasons here soon. And then for cartoon-wise, I watched My Adventures to Superman, which is a really fun adaptation with Superman.
Let's start off with Season 4 of Scissor 7, which I think is by far the best Chinese anime of all time. And for another one, I would also have to say the new Gamera series that came out, which is really fun. It's basically if Godzilla was a turtle, which I think is really cool and awesome. And as for cartoons, I've just been watching Looney Tunes, because you can't go wrong with Looney Tunes, am I right?
I don't watch too much animated stuff. I watched the Across the Spider-Verse movie. I watched the new TMNT movie. You know, Oppenheimer probably had some animation in it. I don't know. And I look forward to seeing Invincible Season 2.
I've rewatched Avatar: The Last Airbender. Great show, love that show. Just got time enough to do it. Watch it again. It's been a couple years, so had time. And a little while ago, I don't watch a whole lot of TV, so a little while ago I was able to watch through Steven Universe, which I feel like is a vastly underrated show. Awesome show, highly would recommend. Don't watch the last season. They botched it, but the first like 4 or 5 seasons, don't watch Future.
I mean, it's not really like animation I've watched recently, but it's reminded me of animation I've watched recently, like Ahsoka, and then they brought in all the Clone Wars stuff, and I thought that was pretty cool in live action. I guess like I've watched a bunch of YouTube stuff recently that's been animated. I mean, it's mostly just been like horror stuff, so I probably can't really, I probably can't even say their names on this show, to be honest. But I mean, if you want my favorite like animated show that's not just like SpongeBob, I guess, that's just like rotted my brain as a child, I guess that'd be Gravity Falls, because like it's got like weird stuff in it, and I like weird stuff, and it's also got like really good characters and really good storyline, and they ended it 2 seasons. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I'm just saying, like, it'd be nice to have more, just saying. I mean, I know the show had like an ending and everything, but still, just bring it back.
Basically, I would say something I've been watching on TV recently is not animated, and I'd ask for permission to talk about it. Professional wrestling. As cringy as it might sound, some of those storylines are like straight out of an anime itself. Some of them are stolen out of anime. Like there's a storyline going on right now, these brothers that are fighting each other. It's in a whole, I told Carson all about it yesterday. Like he was actually amazed. It's like these 2 brothers, these 2 twins, they're fighting against each other, and like they're like, I used to love you, and they're like, I hate you now. And like their cousin, who's like a big manipulative like gaslighter. So like it's this crazy storyline. But if I had to pick an animation, I'll be basic. I'll say South Park. I know I haven't watched it in a while, but like I was obsessed with it when it like became like really popular on TikTok. The best character by far is Butters. He's the most wholesome like character on that show. He's so innocent. He doesn't know what he's saying, and everyone just bullies him all the time. He really doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve any of the pain.
And a series I'm excited for this season, I don't know, I guess the Fate series. I don't know why, I'm just gonna say the Fate series. And if you guys haven't watched it already, watch SpongeBob. Watch like the first 3 seasons.
The only animated thing I've watched recently is Ben 10, but that is very sparse because I have to watch it with my boyfriend or else we'll both explode. But obviously he lives across the state, so we can only really do that when we're like both home. So like, I think I've seen like 5 episodes. I don't remember a single thing that happened in them, but I can't wait to watch episode 6.
I've recently been watching Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 with Nick and Nick. We've been watching it together. It's been really cool. I also recently watched a couple episodes of this new Warhammer animated show called The Exodite. That's really cool. Clancy Brown voices the main character, and he's really cool. He voices Mr. Krabs and other stuff. I just really like that show. It's really cool. And I've also been watching Initial D with my roommates, and that's been a very fun show as well, even though it's really old. It's just really cool.
If you haven't heard the news, Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st, 2024 from a blood clot in his brain. I and so many other fans were upset by this. So many people grew up watching Dragon Ball as their first anime, or at the very least have seen other anime that were inspired by Dragon Ball. That's what I'm going to do for this segment. In honor of Akira Toriyama, I'm going to talk about what a profound effect Dragon Ball had on not just anime, but animated media as a whole. Starting off strong, we have Sonic the Hedgehog. That's right, Sonic the Hedgehog. With Sonic, we have an overconfident protagonist that has a big heart and is always willing to do the right thing. Not to mention the clear references to Dragon Ball within the lore itself. You're telling me that they just randomly picked the number 7 for the number of Chaos Emeralds and picked Gold Fur and Red Eyes as the super form? No! Those were clearly inspired by the 7 Dragon Balls and the Super Saiyan form. I'm just going to also give some brief mentions to cartoons that reference Dragon Ball. I'm of course talking about this scene from The Amazing World of Gumball.
I'm the one who's getting picked on.
Then forget everything I said.
Let's go!
The remake of DuckTales.
His power level, it's over 9,000!
And The Owl House.
This looks ancient.
What? No, it's only 30 years old. I remember seeing this in theaters.
This just shows that it had such a profound effect that most Western cartoons at the very least referenced it. Now for more in-depth inspirations. We have Steven Universe. There are smaller references here and there, but I want to talk about Jasper. Jasper has a lot of parallels to Vegeta, especially both of their views on fusion.
Hey, Vegeta! Do you know the fusion technique?
Fusion technique? Yeah, now that you mentioned it, I've heard Trunks talk about that before. Oh, when you do an absurd dance and join together?
Uh-huh. You know, fusion ha, okay?
Nonsense!
Fusion is just a cheap tactic to make weak gems stronger.
Not to mention the protagonist finds out he's actually half alien and starts out super goofy then becomes more serious later on trope with Steven and Goku. Both have family from outer space that came down to Earth and try to kill them. Not to mention a lot of the same power of friendship tropes apply here as well. We've discussed cartoons, but I'd like to talk about anime now. It's no secret that Naruto and One Piece were both heavily inspired by Dragon Ball. I mean, just look at Naruto and Luffy. They're both goofball protagonists who have strong senses of justice and dreams to become bigger and stronger. Goku, Naruto, and Luffy definitely all share the same insane appetites. Now, Naruto and Luffy aren't aliens, but they still have insane power levels and rely on their friends a lot too. Not to mention that all three are incredibly loyal and would do anything for their friends. Yep, the power of friendship applies here too. Also, just outside of the canon and more behind the scenes, Eiichiro Oda and Masashi Kishimoto both grew up reading Dragon Ball before they became mangaka themselves, so it's no surprise that the manga had such a profound effect on both of them. I'm going to be honest. It wasn't easy to write this segment. Dragon Ball has touched the hearts of so many people. To really showcase what Dragon Ball means to not only me, but to everyone all over the world, I have the following clips and instances to show you. Consider it an in memoriam for Akira Toriyama. He really changed the world and brought anime to so many younger kids. Imagine how many times you Naruto ran, tried to do the Kamehameha wave, or even tried to go Super Saiyan. Thanks to Akira Toriyama, you grew up with those memories. Without further ado, here are my favorite memories and instances of Dragon Ball. Thank you, Akira Toriyama. And remember to stay animated, Indiana. Anime movies are a great way for anime to make extra money off their fan base. Usually they're not canon, but sometimes they are. It's a great way to tell another story either separate from the anime storyline or just a movie version of an arc. Dragon Ball has had their fair share of these. And by a fair amount, I mean a lot. Google says 24 theatrical films. That's insane. That is a lot of movies. Now, with that many movies, there are sure to be some good ones and definitely some bad ones. Looking at you, DBZ Broly.
Oops, did I just blow it up?
In my opinion, the most recent is the best one. Super basic answer, but I think Dragon Ball Super Superheroes is the best Dragon Ball film. Why? Well, let's get into it. Now I hear your screams at your TV and the comments. Oh, why is it the most recent? The older ones are better. You don't know the classics. Blah! Okay, look, I've tried to watch the older ones from the 80s or 90s or whenever the past time was. They're not that good. Now this, Superheroes really did one of my favorite characters justice. Get it? Gohan. Ever since the Cell Saga, Gohan was meant for greatness. Unfortunately, when he tried to take over as the main character in the Buu Saga, everybody hated it and begged for Goku back, so Toriyama gave them back Goku. I'm really glad that we finally got to see some proper screen time of not just Gohan, but some development for Piccolo as well. I hear more screams coming about the animation. It's true that it diverged from its usual 2D animation style and adopted a more CG look. This all comes down to money and time. CG is easier to work with and more cost efficient. This doesn't necessarily mean it looks bad. I mean, look what this art style did to Gohan. He's just a nerdy cutie. I love how they draw his hair. Well, for his base form at least. I'll talk about Beast in a bit. It may be the first Dragon Ball film to fully adopt the CG look, but other films have used CG animation, like Resurrection F and Super Broly. Honestly, Super Broly was a pretty high contender. This film made me like Broly a lot more. Now, let's talk about the story. So the film follows Gohan being an entomologist. For the non-nerds watching, that's the study of insects. He has all kinds of different butterflies and insects plastered on his walls, and he's even writing a paper about Super Saiyan ants. You think I'm making that up, but I'm not. Observe!
Well, I'm doing a research report. They found these ants on a southern island, not your ordinary bugs by any means. As you can see, when the nest is in danger, they transform and give off a golden glow, like they're going Super Saiyan ant.
Now, there is another rise in the Red Ribbon Army, and they have to stop them. There's also 2 new androids named Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. I saw this in English at the theater, so I was really excited to hear Gamma 2's voice. It's because he's played by Zeno Robinson.
That was a seriously underwhelming performance. I was expecting a lot more out of you.
We hear that the doctors and scientists involved are trying to create a new version of Cell called Cell Max. They end up kidnapping Pan to lure Gohan into a trap. A lot of fighting happens, and because Piccolo gets messed up after a really cool transformation where he turns big and orange, we see Gohan go Beast mode. No, seriously, it's called Beast. I'd like to say this form looks good, but the hair just makes me laugh. Yeah. I breezed past the plot a lot, but I'd like to talk about what we got out of this film. We got some more Piccolo content of him being a grandfather figure to Pan. He's even teaching her ki control so that she can learn how to fly.
Don't force it, will it? Do that and your spirit will take control.
It's not working.
This ends up being a cute little character arc for her, and this honestly is a breath of fresh air from the obnoxious Pan we get in Dragon Ball GT.
A little concerned if I were you. The odds aren't exactly in your favor.
Cut it out, Pan. You're underestimating your opponent. This dragon's stronger than the others. Girl. Besides, we're not here to fight. We're here to save the Earth.
I hear you, Grandpa, and that's what I'm going to do. Save Mother Earth.
Piccolo ends up having to take Pan and pick her up from daycare frequently because of how busy Gohan or Videl are. Honestly, I don't know why they work. Videl is loaded. Okay, I know why Gohan works. It's because he likes what he's studying. But still, we also get the usual, "Grr, Gohan, why aren't you training? You're wasting your potential" talk. Which I can see both sides of. Gohan never really liked fighting. He just wanted to study and be a model citizen, unlike his father. Another reason that Gohan doesn't like training is because he just assumes that his father, Goku, will fix everything. And then, if not just him, Vegeta as well. But it's usually Goku. But we see in this film that they're both training with Beerus and Whis on his planet, and the only way to communicate with them while they're there is if Bulma calls them in an orb that connects to Whis' staff. Unfortunately, his staff gets covered, and help never arrives, so it's up to Gohan to save the day. We even see that Broly, Lemon, and Chi-Lai end up in Beerus' planet, since Broly's training too. Which gives us a funny scene where Beerus appears to be interested in Chi-Lai.
like this one. You're more than welcome to stay.
Interesting development. What I honestly liked most about this movie is not just seeing Gohan shine, but to see that Goku and Vegeta were nothing more than a B story. It's so nice to see that other people can also solve problems and everybody isn't just relying on Goku all the time. Sure, he's strong, but I also like seeing the other characters be strong too. We see Goku Kamehameha or Spirit Bomb everything that comes in his path, but Gohan got to fix the problem and save his daughter himself. He proved himself that despite the fact that he may still be slacking a little bit on training, he still has his potential for greatness. You don't get to be the team captain of the Universal Tournament for nothing, after all. Not to mention that there's this little sweet moment after the fight is all over and done. Gohan's waiting for the smoke to clear. Cell Max is incapacitated. Piccolo's all right. Beast mode is done. His hair is back to normal. And Pan rushes over to her dad. Flying. She flies. She flies right into his arms right at the end. It is the cutest part of the movie. Above all else, Gohan's a family man. He cares so much about everyone around him and he just wants to keep them safe. I also find it really funny that they had Goku and Vegeta fight without using any ki or power-ups, so the timeline spot for this film could be ambiguous. Does Vegeta have ultra ego and no eyebrows? Did Goku master any new technique? Is Vegeta god of destruction? Who knows? This film could pretty much be anywhere during Dragon Ball Super. Well, way after Battle of Gods at least. This film really meant a lot to me and was a lot of fun to watch in the movie theater. It may not be the Dragon Ball movie that did the best in the box office or had the most impact, but it was something that Toriyama was personally proud of. If you're unaware, Toriyama just kind of takes a backseat in the Dragon Ball universe. He overlooks things, sure, but he hasn't really been the main writer for a long time. He's old. This film was kind of his baby. He wanted to write something for Gohan that would really let him shine, and honestly, it worked. It worked like a charm. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay animated, Indiana.